It's been 10 years of liberal rule in Canada, and now our once proud independent nation has been hollowed out by mass immigration, rising crime, and unchecked foreign influence. The Liberal government has prioritized global interests over its own citizens, eroding affordability, safety, and national identity. So, after a decade under the Liberals, just how much of Canada's national identity and sovereignty have we actually lost? Well, let's start by looking at immigration. In 2015, Canada admitted 271,845 permanent residents, with asylum claims at 19,630. In 2025, those figures are set to hit 485,000 permanent residents and 144,000 asylum claims, a 78% jump in permanent residents, and a staggering 664% surge in asylum seekers. Perhaps more striking is that non-permanent residents ballooned from 770,000 in 2015 to 3,020,936 by 2025, a near 400% increase. Meanwhile, our population grew by 14% from 35 million to 41 million. Now, let me be clear. Immigration isn't inherently bad. In fact, historically, it's been a critical driver of our GDP. But when a nation swells far beyond its capacity to integrate new arrivals, everyone suffers. Housing costs soar, infrastructure buckles, and social cohesion frays, setting the stage for deeper problems. And those problems show up vividly on our streets, where crime has flourished under Liberal rule. The Crime Severity Index climbed from 70.4 in 2015 to 80.5 in 2023. Violent crime jumped 39%. Homicides increased 37%. Sexual assault spiked 78%. Extortion soared 357%. Carjackings rose 45%. And human trafficking leapt 76%. Liberal bail reforms have fueled this mess, which are also directly linked to a surge in repeat offenders. So again, when immigration outpaces control, it doesn't just stretch resources. It creates vulnerabilities that criminals exploit, turning once safe communities into battlegrounds. Those vulnerabilities have been a goldmine for organized crime, which has also exploded under the Liberals. In 2015, the Criminal Intelligence Service of Canada counted 1,021 organized crime groups. By 2025, that number hit 4,000, a near 400% increase. Hard drug seizures are up 233%, while money laundering ballooned 189% to $130 billion a year, according to FinTrack. Chinese organized crime in particular has dug its claws in deep, pumping $7.8 billion through British Columbia's casinos and real estate in under a decade, laundering cash tied to fentanyl that has killed thousands. In fact, 80% of BC's opioid deaths trace back to their supply chains. That deadly and dirty money then inflates local housing costs, pricing out everyday Canadians. The Liberals' lax oversight has let these networks thrive, intertwining domestic chaos with foreign agendas. Of course, China's influence isn't just criminal, it's political. Chinese diplomats openly brag about rigging our elections, flipping seats in 2019 and 2021 using both propaganda and cash. Furthermore, CSIS reports confirm that the Chinese Communist Party engaged in election interference to ensure that a Trudeau-led government remained in power, believing it to be more sympathetic to their cause. And even though the Liberal-led public inquiry on foreign interference, conveniently held in private, admitted that Iran, Russia, India, and especially China are interfering in our elections, our Liberal government continues to delay implementing a foreign agent registry. Now, I wonder why they would do that. Maybe because China is so deeply entrenched in the Liberal Party that they're the ones pulling the strings. Maybe. So let's consider the evidence. Huawei's technology still runs parts of our rural networks despite significant security concerns. Chinese firms like MMG Limited are eyeing the Arctic to leverage our natural resources for what they call the Polar Silk Road. China's state-owned enterprises have also aggressively acquired stakes in Canadian energy projects, including LNG and oil sands, increasing China's influence over our strategic energy exports. China is also operating at least 3 of their own secret police stations in Canada. They harass dissidents on our soil and force repatriation. In 2019, 2 Chinese scientists infiltrated our Level 4 biolab in Winnipeg, sending live viruses back to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, famous for its role in the COVID lab leak. Oddly enough, Trudeau stonewalled the espionage investigation and refused to discuss the matter any further. So from cartels to condos and parliaments to the Arctic, their footprint is everywhere, and the Liberals seem to be complicit or at the very least, incapable of stopping it. In either case, one thing is clear. A vote for Mark Carney isn't just a vote for the Liberals. It's a vote for deeper ties to China and more of the same policies that have held this country back for the past decade. So vote wisely, my friends. Our identity and our future may hang in the balance.